You guys know what virtual reality is, no doubt, right? You know, even if you've not played VR, you know what VR is, the big headset, right? You put it on your face and there's another world, isn't it? You've probably seen things like metaverse. What is that? That's a false matrix. What are you doing when you put the VR headset on? You are willingly being manipulated. You are willingly being conned into another reality because why you think it's a game. You're playing a game. And that's what you do when you put the headset on. You go, it's obviously this isn't real. Everyone knows this isn't real. Everyone knows this is pretend. Everyone knows this is a game. That's exactly what you did when you came into the false matrix. Why? Because you said that from the vantage point of the true self who you lost connection to because you became so addicted to the game, because you put on the metaphoric VR headset to come here into this false matrix reality, and you became addicted to the game. And then your life became about the game and not the player playing the game. You stopped showing up as an individual gamer, to carry the example through. You stopped showing up as a being and you started showing up as a player, and then the game started to define you, and worse yet, you started to define yourself by the game, and then your conversation started to be only about the game. Look at what happened yesterday. Look at what he said. Look at what she said. Look at what happened out there. Look at the weather over there. Look at what my boss did. Look at what new career path I'm choosing. Look at my car that broke down. It's all the game. Instead of, let's talk about the player playing the game. Now, in order to talk about the player playing the game, guess what? You got to be the player playing the game and not the game. That's what you became. When you put that VR headset on again, remember, I'm giving you a metaphoric example, so don't quote me and say, Kerry says this matrix is a VR, although I'll tell you what, that wouldn't be terribly far from the truth. I just don't want people to get the wrong idea, because it would be pretty easy, almost simplistic to say, oh, so somewhere there's a me with a VR headset on. Not exactly, but hopefully this metaphor that I'm giving you will really bring home. Gosh, but this is a busy fly. Hopefully the metaphor will bring home how you got here, how you landed into the false matrix, and how you became so immersed because it looked so real. But there was a time when you were the player and you knew it. There was a time when you knew you were putting the goggles on and you willingly played the game. So it's when we say, oh, we were hijacked, when we say, oh, we were manipulated, it's almost like a gamer who's become addicted to the game and their whole life is about the game that they're playing, blaming the game and saying, you hijacked me. Yeah, sure. That's the game is supposed to, it's what you signed up for. The game is supposed to entertain you. The game is supposed to occupy your mind. The game is supposed to enthrall you. It is an addiction. And you become addicted to the known within that game. And the crazy part about this VR game is that you're actually creating the game as you play it, but you don't know that. And isn't that really similar to the actual literal VR headset? You're making choices. You're going to go down this path. You're going to go down. So in a sense, you are still doing exactly the same thing, even though someone else has made the rules of the game. Someone else made the rules of this game too. Right? So it's too easy. It's too easy to say, oh, it's a bad game. Or too easy to say, it's all their fault. They did this. They manipulated me. Remember, at some point, you were the player that chose the headgear to immerse yourself in the game that you're in right now. And when you first looked at that headgear, you said, I'll always know that this, who would ever fall for this being reality? I know that this isn't reality. One of the ways that you know you're in the false matrix, because this is the thing, right? When you're inside a game, you're a gamer and you're inside the game, there's certain obvious things that make you know that you're playing the game. There's certain obvious telltale signs that tell you that you're in a false matrix here too. And they're time. When you're in the past or you're in the future, when you are somewhere in time, you're in the false matrix. When you're timeless, you're in the organic matrix. In other words, you're in the organic universe. Please, guys, remember, a matrix is simply a way of saying reality, right? So I could say to you, there's a false reality, or I could say there's a false matrix. I could say there's a real, true matrix or a real, true reality. It just sounds kind of like too many words if I say true reality. Nonetheless, the organic matrix or the organic universe, whatever terms you're comfortable with, when you're in that space, you feel forever.